Alright, let me start this video by saying that if you've come here looking for some shortcut or secret to getting abs, then you're not going to find it here or anywhere else for that matter, because they don't exist. All these abs, trainers and other gimmicks are almost always a complete waste of money. So listen to what I have to say. Essentially, having visible abs comes down to being at a low enough body fat percentage so that you can see them. This is usually around 12%, and the lower your body fat, the better they'll look generally. Getting to a low enough body fat percentage so that you can see your abs is achieved by being in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video about calorie deficits and stuff, so if you do want to learn more about that, check my Nutrition 101 video. If you just go on my YouTube channel, you will see it was one of my previous videos, and that'll teach you about how to be in a calorie deficit, etc. However, having said that, abs are just like any other muscle. You need to build them up and develop them for them to look good when you do cut down. If you haven't built them up during periods of bulking where you're in a surplus and grown them, they're not going to look very good when you do cut down. They're just like your biceps or your chest, back, legs, whatever. You need to actually develop them, and they'll look even better when you do cut down to a low body fat percentage. To be completely honest, I don't really train abs that much anymore. I used to when I first started, but they get activated a lot through heavy compound movements such as squats, bench press and deadlifts. I probably should start training them, and I actually intend to start incorporating more ab exercise into my program, but I'm just being honest with you guys, I hardly train them anymore because they do get activated so much through heavy compound movements, which is why I always recommend people focus their training routines around heavy compound movements. Anyway, having said all that, there are some ab exercises that I do recommend people doing, and we're going to get straight into my top ab exercises. Here we go.
Right, the first exercise I recommend is a decline sit-up. This is probably one of my favorite exercises. I prefer this to normal sit-ups because I feel like I get better range of motion and better muscle activation. However, if this is too hard for you, you can just do a regular sit-up flat on the floor. But if you find that too easy, you can add resistance by holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell, medicine ball, or a plate, or anything really just to make it a little bit harder. And then another variation of this exercise is where you twist as you come up. So I'm touching my elbow with the opposite knee, and what this does is help activate your obliques a little bit more. Now I'm doing this all on a purpose-built decline bench, but if you don't have one in your gym, you can just use a regular bench and elevate one of the sides under plates or something. Right, the second exercise is a leg raise. I'm doing it here on a vertical bench, supporting my weight on my elbows, and I'm just raising my feet up and down in front of me. If you find that too difficult, you can bend your knees a little bit more to shorten the distance away from your body, creating less torque, making it slightly easier. If you find all of this too easy though, you can add resistance. I'm holding a dumbbell here in between my feet just to make it a little bit harder, or you can get creative with bands or kettlebells or whatever you have at your disposal just to make the exercise a little bit harder. Right, the third exercise is an ab rollout. I'm using a barbell here with a plate on either side. You can use a purpose-built ab roller, but this gym didn't have one, so I'm just making do here. This exercise does activate your shoulders and lower back slightly as well, so just be aware of that. And I'd probably not advise it for beginners or anyone with lower back injuries. But it is a very effective ab workout if you can do it. Okay, the fourth exercise is a rope crunch. I'm resting on my knees on the floor, and I'm using a cable machine with a rope attachment, holding that attachment above my head. And I'm basically trying to bring my chest towards my legs. I remember Arnold doing this exercise, so if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And you can increase the weight to make it harder, and you can even twist to hit your obliques a little bit more. Alright, the fifth and final exercise is a standing twist. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure if that's what they're actually called, but I'm just holding a dumbbell in front of me and swinging from side to side. And it works your core and obliques when you try to stop the momentum and change direction. You can also use a kettlebell or anything else that adds resistance.